So we have, my husband struggles with homosexuality. He likes men. I told you guys about the weird behaviors at Myrtle Beach, the weird behaviors, just the little hints that something was going on him at work, at the hospital. And then there was also a guy at the job that he worked at, the Mexican restaurant. I know we came off of a heavy topic prior to this video about, the whole suffocation and stuff, but I want to kind of capture everything that happened while we lived in this house. There was also, like I said, a guy that he was a gay man, that very handsome man actually, that worked at the Mexican restaurant where he worked. So they worked together. And I already know that my husband is attracted to men. I already know that. Sorry, I thought somebody was coming over here. So now that I know that an attractive gay man works with him at work, I'm already kind of this is weird. And every time we go to an event together, or if I go into his job or whatever, this gay guy would not talk to me. Everybody would talk to me. We were like a family, but this one guy would not talk to me. He would talk to my husband, but he would not talk to me. Another red flag. So anywho, I want to let you guys know about that. I'm looking at my notes because I want to make sure I have everything in this house, because I be forgetting. I was all over the place. So 2013, no, it was still 2000. Okay, so 11 that happened, then 12 came, 2012. We got invited to minister at a church that was in Fayette County. A family friend, invited my husband to be the youth pastor for a church where she was the worship leader. We decided that that's something that we wanted to do, and we were traveling back and forth the end of 2012 to the church. It's about an hour away, to minister at the church and to work with the church. And so that was tiresome. So we ended up moving to Fayette County to be closer to the church. And that's how we got to the house in Fayette County. So it's been rough, obviously, the entire marriage. And we're up to year 3. And I'm hoping that this being in the church, serving in the church, working in the church is going to help our relationship, where he's now going to be held at a higher standard. And especially being Christian, you have to respect your wife, wives respect your husbands, whatever, treat your wife well. So I was hoping that, being that we were so involved in the church, that it would help our relationship. And I want to say that it didn't help it. It just helped mask it more. Eventually, it's so murky. Eventually, he went to anger management classes. My pastor at the time told him he had to go to anger management classes because they kind of knew of his issues with blowing up with me. So he did the anger management classes, and he finished those classes. I mean, people like him, anger management classes aren't gonna help. He's literally he needs medicine. That's what he needs. No offense to the people that need medicine. Hell, I need medicine. So he did the anger management classes. We went to therapy at the church. It was provided by the church, because we were working at the church. So they provided therapy, marriage counseling to us. And I remember being in the therapy session one time, and he literally stormed out of the room and stormed out of the church and left, because he was so upset. He felt like the therapist was taking my side, because everything everything I said, she validated, and he didn't have anything to say. Like, nothing he said was a valid reason of why he was treating me the way he was treating me. He brought up the whole cheating thing with the guy at the restaurant, like, which wasn't really like as big as what he made it seem, which, you know, he's entitled to his feelings, whatever. But then, like, I brought up all the times that he flirted with other women, and I'm just like, okay. We never brought up his homosexuality stuff. Oh, my back hurts. We never brought that stuff out, so nobody really knew, and we just continued to serve in the church. It was difficult, but I also enjoyed working as a youth minister. I love pouring into the kids, but then it felt so weird to standing in front of those children as a unit, and knowing the stuff that we were going through, knowing what it looked like at home, and then these kids just love him. They just love us. They thought he was amazing. So, yeah. The ministry thing lasted not long. We remember all of those things that I told you. The signs and stuff, like Myrtle Beach Hospital, work being weird, all that stuff. 2000 and look at my notes. Yes, 2014. 2014 is when we stopped being youth ministers. 2014 is when he had to step down. He was forced to step down from ministry. Why, you may ask? Glad you asked. He had to step down because he confessed to the pastor that he was struggling with homosexuality, and that his struggle has led him to having sex with men. He then sat me down and told me, after he told the pastor, he told me that this is what y'all, I wasn't into my investigative skills back then. Like, I was in my own world. He told me this stuff. So if he were to say today, oh, that's not true, like, you told me this. Like, I didn't make this up. You told me this. This guy was soliciting sex online while being a youth pastor, but that's besides the point. He was soliciting sex online. Craigslist. His email that he used to hide all of this and to receive the messages was an email by his fake name that he made up. That fake name was Jason Long. He would go on Craigslist looking for sex, soliciting sex with other men, and that's what he did for over a year. About a year, maybe over a year. The dates are kind of weird, but when I think about the stories that he told me about, like, what happened, and then matching it up to those weird situations, it was about a year, if not a little bit over a year, that my husband was soliciting sex online and sleeping with men while sleeping with me. So you can only imagine what that was like.